Well, would you look at that? A video idea I shamelessly stole from Fither. And Fither doesn't play BlazBlue. My channel is so small, he'll never notice this anyway, so I can steal whatever idea I want. Now, the majority of my stuff is from mostly my followers on Twitter and my subscribers on YouTube. And there may be some people who repeat. You know, some people came to me who gave me multiple different kinds of headcanons, so it's fine. I was trying to get this out to more people, but I wasn't unable to in the 2 days it took me to essentially get this video together. So I'm gonna have to kind of just, you know, deal with what I got. I have 39, at least 39 different of these headcanons, though some of them, the screenshots I've taken do have multiple on. Some of them do, not all of them, but let's just say it's a rough 40 different headcanons I gotta go through. And I didn't put a rule on this. I say, hey guys, you know, whatever headcanon you believe in this series that could be considered canon, but you, like, it's not canon, but you could consider it canon, give it to me. It doesn't matter how silly it is. It doesn't matter how dumb it is. Anything is fair game. So I was like, you know what, fine, give me the headcanons. And I was able to manage to cobble some up in the past 2 days. So there are some on here that I'm afraid to say, but you know, I'll go with it. I'll go with it because this is entertainment. This is entertainment. This is YouTube, and we gotta do this for the BlazBlue franchise. Let's go. Alright, headcanon number 1 for my friend Felicity. I headcanon that if Celica were to play Minecraft, she'd lose sight of her house base and wander 100,000 blocks away from it somehow. Yeah, like I always figured that, like, you know how Celica, okay, obviously Celica has a terrible direction. I feel like if she played a video game, she would still get lost in the game. Like, I feel like Celica's sense of direction is so inhumanly impossibly bad that if she even played a video game, she would get lost. I feel like if she had a GPS on hand and it told her, hey Celica, you're standing in this position. There is a tree 3 feet away from you. All you have to do is walk from that one straight line all the way to the tree. Celica will somehow get far enough away from the tree, end up at some ocean far away, somehow cross the ocean, end up on an island, and just stay there. I don't know. Like it's like everything she would do would somehow become astronomically and like just like beyond what is humanly capable in regards of direction. Like I feel like if Celica were to ever play a video game, she would still get lost in it. Anything regards direction, she would get lost in it. Nah. You know, everyone wants to rag on Final Fantasy 13 for being like a linear hallway. Celica would get lost in Final Fantasy 13. She would get lost in 13 so badly, dude. Headcanon from Chris Redfield, the Poltersexual. I can't read this. 9 the Phantom is a freaky bitch. but seriously though, I could kind of see that. Like, knowing about her and Jubei, I could just kind of feel like there are some things that we're not supposed to know about her, and that she's like a completely different. Like, she has the feeling of like the whole dominatrix stuff. Like, she feels like the character archetype where she's like, where we wouldn't know what happens. Like, we wouldn't know what happens with her and Jubei, like when they're alone time, but we would kind of guess what could be possible. It just, like, her mannerisms and her, like, even her own, like, even, like, her mannerisms just kind of betray that, you know? Like, if, like, yeah, you could, like, if someone ever told you, like, yeah, 9 could pass for a dominatrix, yeah, you could easily believe that. Just see how she acts in the games. Even see her, you know, during gameplay and shit like that. I feel like that could be canonical and make total sense. You know, like, this could make total sense now when I think about it. Next one's from my friend Churro over on Twitter. If Ragnar didn't lose his home and family, he could become a great chef with Jubei as his master to help him cook. Yeah, see, I can believe that one either. Like, I'm not expecting Ragnar to be like a famous cook or something. I feel like he'd be more on the down low trying to cook for people. Like, he'll own his own small restaurant, and then like him and Jubei could own a small restaurant, or just Ragnar. And then, like, I can imagine, like, Jin and Saya, they could help, but they wouldn't want to do it. Like, I can imagine Saya helping. Jin, I don't see he could actually bother to help Ragna, because like, if I could just imagine it, you know, like just like they can have like a restaurant near the church, or Ragna could be just one of the cooks of the church, right? And then people would know about it and they would flock to Ragna, or you know, stuff like that. Like I already know Saya could be a sister of the church, right? So like knowing Jin could be in the NOL, because he probably still would be. Ragna could be the cook. Sai could be, you know, still a sister, but she could help out every now and then. Jubei definitely... See, Jubei, I can see him, like, you know, him being, like, the master to teach Ragna how to cook, but he wouldn't outright directly still helping Ragna. Like, after that, it's like, yeah, Ragna taught you everything I know. I'm gonna leave you alone. Let's, you know, I'm out of here. But yeah, I can totally imagine Ragna being a chef. If he did, you know, if all the dumb shit didn't happen in his life, if he, you know, grew up normally in the church, I could see him becoming a cook. I could definitely see that. But like, if the thing is, I don't know how Jubei could factor into this. I don't want to go like all too far, because I feel like Jubei wouldn't really. Well, I mean, I guess Jubei would still be involved, because Celica still is related to Jubei through 9. So technically, Jubei will still be a part of their lives, still part of their lives. So yeah, I could see that. All right, my friend Jay, let's see what you got here. After Kaizouwar had captured Ragna and Chrome Phantasma, the NOL has started to sell merchandise of the Grim Reaper himself. Posters, action figures, even posters. Oh, you said posters twice. One poster includes Kaizouwar standing over the defeated Ragna. Also, Rachel has an entire room of Ragna merchandise. See, somehow I imagine Ragna actually having merchandise. Like, despite everyone hating Ragna as the Grim Reaper and, like, you know, like this menace to society, I can't help but think that he does have some kind of merchandise out there, like actually in universe, because I feel like him, like, you know, even if he's like this menace, people would still sell his likeness. You know, that's why I feel like they will actually sell merchandise of Ragna. I feel like they also have merchandise of Kaizouwar, considering how popular and famous he is. So I definitely feel that could be possible too. And Rachel having an entire room of Ragna merch. Yeah, I don't see that. I see more Celica doing it. There was this meme I saw. Someone like edited this shit where Celica had like merchandise of Ragna. Like, it's like, don't tell people I live like this. like everyone wants to lay it on thick that like Rachel does have like this obsession with Ragna, and it's not that far, but like everyone's just like. It's like I don't know why. Some people just believe that. It's funny to me how much people gauge, like, how much does Rachel like Ragna, and that's what gets me. But yeah, but as for the merchandise, I could totally see that. I could totally see Kaizouwar having merchandise. We know that the 6 heroes actually have merchandise, like, you know, like posters and toys and shit of them in universe. We know that. So I can imagine Ragna having that. I can definitely imagine Ragna himself having some kind of merchandise in universe. I mean, it probably won't be good merchandise, but I feel like somebody out there will be like a fan of the Grim. Like, I can imagine like someone being like a fanatic of Ragna. Like, it's like, you're like, oh, like someone who hates the NOL but likes what Ragna's doing, even though he's like a murderer. People will like what he's doing, and they're like, you know, we believe in you, Ragna. You're the only one who can fight back the NOL. See, I can imagine that, you know? Like, it's crazy. Ethereal Minister says, Kaizouwar actually wants to get married and have kids, even though he doesn't seem like the type to do it. And Rachel has a diary that shows she's secretly swooning for Ragna and crushing on him hard. See, I like that people love to believe that Rachel, like, it's just like really, really crushing super hard on Ragna. Like, it's definitely there in the series, but like everyone likes to go like above and beyond. Like, man, she really, 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 really loves this guy. Like, I find that super, super funny. But as for the Kaizouwar one, I can kind of believe that, because like a lot of people have this theory that Kaizouwar is like super, super depressed after the whole stuff that went down with Tenjo back at the Wazumi Castle, like how Tenjo died, and that like he's just drinking, partying, and hanging out with a bunch of women to kind of cope with that kind of depression. And I could definitely see it. I could definitely see Kaizouwar doing that kind of thing. Like, he's just moving from woman to woman to try to feel some kind of, you know, human connection, because like, I don't know, I just feel like that. It's hard to describe, you know. I'm not very good at trying to be very descriptive and be an analysis, like analyze this kind of stuff, but I can kind of see it. Lin says, Nai wants the cycle to end so she could get back with Jubei and fix her relationship with Kokonoe. See, like, the thing with Nai is that, like, you know, the whole reason she even, like she kind of wanted to do this whole business of, like, saving, quote unquote, saving the world, because she wants everyone, like her family and everyone else, to be happy. So like, I could definitely see this one. She wants to, you know, even though she went back and forth with Jubei, she still cared for her family at the end of the day. And I definitely feel like she would want to try to, like, if she was able to stop this whole thing with her own hands, I feel like that she would want to talk with Jubei. She would want to talk with Coconut. Like Nine is not unreasonable. Like she's pretty, like, she's not down to earth per se, but like she's not like this person who cannot understand anything, you know. L tells me Azrael doesn't drink alcohol. I don't know, man. He kind of drinks alcohol when one of his rounds starts, when he has that bottle. That has to be alcohol. It's Azrael. Like, I feel like, of course, Azrael drinks alcohol. Like, I feel like what else could Azrael drink besides alcohol? There's no way in hell Azrael's going around carrying a bottle of water or some orange juice or some apple juice or some shit like that. He straight up drinking alcohol. Come on, man. But you know what? This is all headcanon. If you don't believe Azrael drinks alcohol, go ahead. But I feel like Azrael drinks alcohol, but he just never get drunk from it. Like, he'll never get drunk from drinking it. Like, he's too OP and manly. The alcohol will just straight up fade away as it gets down to his stomach, and it will never leave him inebriated. Boom, there we go. That's Azrael's theory. That's my theory on Azrael's alcohol addiction. He can't have one. He can't have an alcohol addiction because he's too powerful. The alcohol will just submit and just vanish away within him. My friend Feroxy Lewis tells me, I'm sorry if I Feroxy. She told me she messed up her name, called it, want to say Fox, but I'm gonna call her Feroxy. I apologize. But she says the one I got is, I feel like in her spare time, Noelle likes making cute plushies and can sew. I can see that. I can actually see that. I can definitely see Noelle on her downtime, definitely making plushies and cute shit. Because, but the thing is, like, I get that Noelle, like one of her hobbies is online shopping, right? So like, I feel like after getting a lot of plushies, she may have tried to attempt to make her own one day, because, you know, like, I feel like sewing and making plushies is more of a thing you could do, like, you know, secluded. And Noelle doesn't like to get out much. She likes to, you know, be, you know, in, like, because like the whole her whole hobby of online shopping is just so she doesn't have to really interact with anyone. So like, I could definitely see that her secluding herself just to sew and stuff like that, making cute plushies. Maybe she'll try to make one of like some plushies she had, and then she's like failing. She's like, oh darn, I can't make any plushies, god damn it. I can see her trying to make one of like her friends. I had this cute idea of like her being able to make one with like of Makoto and Tsubaki, and then she'll try to like role play, and she'll like try to play around with the plushies, and then she has like Makoto and Tsubaki telling Noelle how great she is. I could definitely see that. I don't know why. Like, just that out of nowhere just came up in my head, and I think that's just one of the most wholesome things ever. Dumbest tells me Hosma steals the candies from toddlers, and Terumi is the one who punched them. Like, no, I could definitely see Hosma and Terumi being like these neighborhood bullies, just like doing stupid shit. Like, they're being partners in crime, doing really dumb shit. Like something as simple as just punching a person. Like if Terumi wanted to push over someone, Hosma would run behind. Like, Hosma would run behind the person, like bend over, like so like the person would like trip over Hosma while Terumi pushes them. I could definitely see that happening. Like, that's this right here. It's totally something I see them doing. Like, it's like they would definitely be like neighborhood bullies and like partners in crime to do really petty and unnecessary shit like this. Definitely Hosma and Terumi would do such a thing. Release the Bogus tells me, due to BBTAG, I like to believe that Tao is actually a genius when it comes to business and helps the kids become merchants, and is only pretending to have one brain cell so nobody knows about it. Like, I've always wanted to believe some weird headcanon that Tao is just pretending to be immensely dumb just to get a reaction out of people. Though her actually being like smart in business is actually kind of a cool idea. To teach the kids to actually work. I like that. That's actually kind of a cool idea. I never would thought about it, because now I remember that the Kaka kittens are actually like merchants. Like, they actually sell you, like they run the item shop in BBTAG. So I kind of like that. That's actually a kind of cute idea. Like, see, knowing if Tao was really, really dumb Like if she was just pretending just to get like reaction out of people to see what she say, that would actually make Tao one of the smartest characters in the series, and that's just that doesn't sit well with me, dude. I can't. It's so out there, but I could buy it. I could totally buy it. Like knowing how dumb Tao is, and knowing how really smart and like calm Torikaka is, I could definitely see just how just bullshitting. Just to be funny, just to screw with people. I can totally see that, holy shit. Radiance tells me, Nu is an amazing singer because of Awakening to Chaos. You know what, I feel like I could buy that, like Nu is the one doing the woman wailing in the background of Awakening to Chaos. I could totally buy that, but then like, the song Reincarnation comes into play and that's the same woman. So I'm like, oh shit, did they get Nu? Did they get Nu to sing that song too? And she's not even part of it. Like, do people just like get Nu to start singing songs for them? Like when she's not being crazy for Ragnar, if she's just chilling on her downtime, people are like, "Hey Nu, can you sing this song for us?" Like I could totally buy that if like some characters could sing, right? Like for example, Childish Killer. Like I know it's not the same, obviously the same singer as like Tsubaki's Japanese voice actress, but I could kind of buy Tsubaki being the one to sing Childish Killer. Or if Mu was the one who sung Sword of Doom. Like, I could totally buy that, you know? Like, or if Ragnar just got pissed off one day and starts singing freaking Black Onslaught. There's no more before. It's like hearing Ragnar go off. Just hearing Ragnar go off in the background about Black Onslaught. I would love that. But yeah, Nu singing Awakening Chaos, I could totally buy that. I could kind of buy that. Like her being like secluded, like in the boundary or something, and she's singing, and like the song comes up to the surface and people can hear it that way or something like that. I don't know, but I think that's a cool idea. I think that's a cool idea of Nu being a singer. Student tells me Yosuke and Yuzuriha are a thing, and no one can tell me otherwise. They are my one true pairing. I don't know where this one came from. I mean, I guess the only way I could probably ship them is like they each have the letter Y. They have the letter Y's in their names. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, why not? Let's just ship Yosuke and Yuzu and call it a day. Scribe of Random Scripture tells me Relius has incredibly long and philosophical discussions about life, death, love, hate, and the universe with Ignis whenever he's working, and she follows along perfectly. I can buy that. I can actually believe that Relius, like on his alone time, he's just talking to Ignis, right? He straight up like has no one else to talk to, so he's just talking to Ignis, and like he's talks about all this deep shit, and Ignis is like, I can understand. Even though I'm a detonator now, I can definitely understand what you're saying, bro. Even though you turned me into a goddamn robot, they're like, I can definitely see like Relius like just talking shit, you know, like he's just straight up. Like he wouldn't. I don't think he's the kind of guy who would just keep everything on the inside, especially when he's alone. He'll just straight up just starts talking to himself, and Ignis just happens to be there with him, and she's understanding like more the deeper side of Relius, you know, than what he's displaying on the surface. Definitely can see that. Definitely can see that, and like he just goes on and on and on and on like I do. Yeah. I could definitely understand that one. I like this one because it feels like it could be canon. It feels like it could definitely fit in the canon. Like we don't know what Relius really does on his downtime other than like, you know, experiments and science and all that shit. We know what he does, but like we don't know enough. So like seeing Relius like, you know, just alone and just hearing him talking about really deep shit, and you can see more on like, you know, deeper within him. I could definitely get that. EST Wookie tells me okay, serious face. 9. I can't do it. All right. 9 has inverted nipples. Oh my god. You know what? Why not? Dude, I am not reading that fancy text, so I'm just gonna call you Lone Silver 2. Tager has an OnlyFans. Oh god. Ew. Fawaz, I'm just gonna call you Gil Sama because that's like easier to say. A stupid theory I've been thinking about. What if Yuki Terumi is actually related to the Terumi clan somehow? Like, what if Susanoo took his form, voice, shape, and attitude from a person? A human, a person called Yuki Terumi, the current leader of the of the clan and Naoto's father. Like, imagine some like logic where like this Yuki Terumi person, right? Susanoo based himself, like a god based himself off of this dude named Yuki Terumi. Terumi Yuki or something. Like, just imagine that. Like imagine like Terumi somehow being Naoto's dad. Like, the Terumi clan had to come from something, right? I always had the okay. This is not my video for my headcanon, so I'm gonna have to leave what I think out of it. But just imagine that, like there's this dude named Terumi Yuki Terumi, and then like somehow like this Susanoo unit at the beginning of times, like, you know what, I kind of want to be that guy, and then he grows a soul, and then injects himself, and it becomes Yuki Terumi. It's some kind of weird feedback loop. Like, what the shit? Like, you go from being Yuki Terumi to the soul inside Susanoo to becoming Yuki Terumi again. And then somehow becoming Naoto's dad on top of that. Okay, so Andre Taylor tells me, Kagura was in love with Tenjo, and when she died, he went into depression. His constant partying and flirting with women is him trying to fill that void. This is also his reason for his infatuation with Noelle because of the slight resemblance. See, that's one theory that I've been seeing get passed around, and I could totally buy that. Yeah, I could definitely believe that Kagura was in love with Tenjo Amano Hokus. Like, I could definitely believe that he was. And then obviously when she would die, he would just go into depression, because that's why he was so hell bent on trying to protect Homura. Like, obviously, because he was, he respected Tenjo. Of course, he would respect Tenjo's. We don't know who Homura is in relationship. I'm gonna call him son for now. And him, partying, flirting with other women, obviously I mentioned that before in the video, that like him trying to like fill that void because he's depressed. And then like when he sees Noelle, he comes into her at first sight, because Homura, sorry, my bad, Tenjo did have resemblance to Izanami, and we already know Izanami has resemblance to Saya because of the body. So I could definitely see that. It's like some weird chain of resemblance that leads from Tenjo all the way down to Noelle, and that when Kagura's like, oh shit, man, he has a crush on Noelle, I could definitely see that. Honestly, that goes from being like a funny comedic way of him having a crush on Noelle to like something really sad, and it kind of bums me out. But knowing all of this, and I can believe Kagura would act this way. I can believe that Kagura has some deep-seated feelings, like he just, some things he just can't get over underneath the surface, to the point where he just parties himself to the point where he just can't even recognize anything anymore. It's kind of really sad, and then Hibiki's there to kind of, clean up after his mess to keep him morally upright. Well, not morally upright, my bad. More like, keep your head in the game, stuff like that. So I can definitely see that. Poor Kagura. Like, the Kagura depression theory people really like, and yeah, I could kind of buy it though. Like, if it was a thing, and it was a thing in canon, I could definitely feel that. Kuro tells me, headcanon, here's my theory. It may sound weird, but someone's probably working on a clone of Ragna in the new universe. Like, I could find some dumb way of like trying to situate this where like, how we kept trying to make clones of Saya? Well, let's just start making Murakumo clones of Ragna. Like, I don't know, like some weird thought in the back of my head just cropped. I was like, yeah, we keep cloning Saya. Why not just clone Ragna for some godforsaken reason, dude? Normal headcanon. New is only yandere due to the Murakumo's influence and would just be a bit clingy without said influence. Silly headcanon. Despite Jin collecting vintage bikes, he never learned how to ride one due to simply using Ice Car to get around. Okay, as for the new one, maybe. I don't know why. I feel like she would still be crazy regardless, but I feel like, considering how messed up the torture was on her and her mind warped because of it, yeah, I could kind of see like if Nu was normally like a normal person without the whole, you know, insane Murakumo torture business. Like if she grew up normally, let's say like if Nu took Noelle's place in life, right? How would she work? Like if someone was like if she escaped in the whole Ibukido shit, like let's say like she straight up took Noelle's place and like the whole Ibukido blast, and she was adopted by the Vermilion family and some shit. What would Nu be like? That's what I can imagine. And I can see like, yeah, she would still be kind of clingy and still would be thinking of Ragna, but like she wouldn't be as crazy as she, you know, is now. So I could definitely buy that one. As for the silly headcanon, don't judge me for this one, but I could definitely believe that. Like Jin legit uses his own freaking ice car to just go places. Like F the bullshit of like buying motorcycles. He would never learn how to ride one. Just like, you know what? Why would I need a ride? Why would I need a like, you know, ride these motorcycles? I could just, you know, use my own. I have my own power. I could just go wee on my ice car. I could, for the Jin one, I could definitely buy that one. I could definitely buy the Jin one. Him just straight up using his own ice car just to go places. Like he'll just go from place to place like wee. Like he'll make the motorcycle sounds and go. I can imagine Jin doing that, dude. Bootleg Kaka tells me S is actually flat. It's just where she keeps her supply of pudding. Okay, you know what? You know what? No, I am convinced that S does have a big dress, right? So I am convinced that she does have a bunch of pockets and shit where she just keeps pudding. Like she'll just open one up and just like some hidden compartment and open it up like, oh, there's my pudding, time to eat. Like, oh my god, I can imagine that. But yeah, S actually flat is where she keeps her supply of pudding. God damn it. I hate that someone actually told me something like this because now it's just in my head and I can't get it out. Shogun Fafnir, because I cannot second them. Yeah, I'm just gonna call you Shogun Fafnir. I apologize. So he tells me Jin is a huge fan of classical music and loves to attend performances, but he constantly disguises himself, always obscuring his face. You know what? I can actually buy that. I can actually buy Jin as like a fan of classical stuff. Like I know, knowing Tsubaki is a fan of like historical stuff. I can imagine the two of them going to like, you know, like operas and shit. I could definitely see that. I could totally see that. Like if they were dating or if they were just like, you know, going out to do something, I could definitely see them going to like a play or an opera or something like that. I could definitely see that. Like Jin would just hide his face. It's like he just like covers his hand over his eyes. And it's like, no one will know it's me. Like, or like he would wear like a mask. Like he would wear a Hakumen mask. And that would just draw more attention to him. He would just wear a Hakumen mask. And the cycle continues. He can't see shit. He gets the mask and thinks it's a good idea to hide his face. But when he actually gets to the goddamn theater and puts the mask on, he's like, I can't see shit. Dog Note tells me, I don't like being one of those guys, but I dead-ass believe Kajun Feika is lesbian or at the very least bisexual. She gives me the vibes like she wants to make out with mine, I don't know why. Also, Ada Clover has stabbing lessons from Hazma. Okay, so as for the Kajun one, I definitely believe she's bisexual. She's either bisexual or lesbian. I want to lean on the bisexual one. But if she's straight up lesbian, I could totally buy that one too. That one I think is actually canon. Like we know that Makoto possibly is. So like knowing like I could definitely believe it's Kajun because like Jun really is forward towards Mai, and it's kind of playful, but at the same time you could definitely believe that she would. I want to lean on the bisexual one, but considering she never really had attraction to guys as far as we've seen, and it's only towards Mai. I want to admit she could definitely lean towards the lesbian angle. And knowing how BlazBlue Remix Heart is, yeah, that's a lot of Yuri bait there. So yeah, I could definitely see that one. That might as well just be canon. Like There's no headcanon for that one. That's might as well just be canon. Anyway, Ada Clover has stabbing lessons from Hazuma. Imagine Hazuma trying to teach like Ada to like stab. He's like, no, damn it, you gotta do it like this. Like he's trying to like he's trying to be really patient with Ada, and she's not learning. And then he gets fed up, but then when she gets it right, he's like, yes, that's right, you can do it. Like he's like really being encouraging, but in his own Hazuma way. Like he's like being like sarcastic about it, but he really genuinely believes that she's getting better and actually praises her. I don't know why. Seeing Hazuma trying to be a teacher is just the funniest shit ever, and I could totally see it. Like it's like it fits him to a T. Like he's being really sarcastic, but he could definitely fit it. Serious answer. Relius still loves his family as his family, even with all the shit they've been through. Semi-serious answer. Azrael has depression. Okay, Relius, like knowing how Relius, like I don't want, like, in the back of my head, I feel like they're going to go with some angle of Relius actually, you know, doing all this shit to try to like, you know, be some good person in the end. But like, I can definitely see Relius having respecting Carl. He wants to see him how he's going to turn out, and hopefully Carl can just beat the shit out of Relius. Like after all of Relius' plans are exhausted, he can just like, you know what, Father, I'm gonna, you know, whoop your ass. He got close enough to, like, Valkyrie and I got close enough to do it. So like, I feel like Relius is trying to build up Carl to like have a worthy opponent, to see someone who could rival him. Like Relius, I believe Relius could be so damn smart and so in the know about things that he could easily evade everyone. He's like, man, no one can match up my intellect. But it's like he sees the potential in Carl. He's like, you know what? My son is getting close enough to getting strong enough, so he can, you know, come rival me and come to get me after he's learned what he's learned. So I could definitely see that. But him loving his family, no, yeah, like I feel like keeping Ignis around as his detonator, I don't know how to feel about that one. Even after all this time, you're gonna chalk up to like Relius being like, yeah, I'm a mad scientist, ha ha ha. I turn my wife and daughter into robots. But like in the back of my head, I want to believe that like he's doing this for a greater purpose other than just saying experiments. Like he's trying to preserve them somehow, like in some creepy way. I don't know. Like considering that Nirvana's with Carl and Ignis is with Relius, he's trying to set up Carl to be a mirror of himself in order to like come back and essentially create a second him. That's what I believe. I don't know. Like I don't know, man. Like I've exhausted all my brain power thinking about Relius and his motives. So F it. And semi-serious answer: Azrael has depression. A depressed Azrael. You know what? I could kind of believe that he would be depressed in some way because he can't really use his power like he wants to. But like he has to severely limit himself in order to like have a fair fight. Like, knowing that Azrael had one serious, like really serious fight that made him push himself to his limits, like the one with Hoichiro, like I could believe that after that, and knowing that he couldn't find anyone else to be strong enough like him in that way, he would be sad, and that he would have to severely limit himself to even have a semblance of a good fight because he's too damn strong for everyone. I can believe Azrael to be depressed. It's like, well, shit, man, I can't. There's no one else out there strong enough to deal with me, and I'm constantly having to limit myself for this shit. Or something like that. I don't know. Maybe. Let's go with that angle. Jay comes back to me again with another headcanon. Tao always tells hilarious, far-fetched stories about her adventures with Good Guy to the Kaka Kids. Such as the time her and Good Guy went drag racing, became pro wrestling tag team champions, even started a whorehouse that consists of all the plays with females that play. Okay, I actually really like this idea of like Tao being really over the top with her, like her telling the Kaka Kids like bedtime stories about her and Ragnar going off on ridiculous adventures that's never happened. That's actually a really wholesome and cute idea. I like that one. I could totally buy that one. It's actually a really cute idea. Like she would be so over the top that there's no way these adventures would have ever happened ever. But I could definitely buy that one. I think that's a really cute idea. That's one of the most wholesome. Like, the most wholesome headcanons on this one, because I could definitely find that one. Like, Tao would definitely do that. Like, she'll tell stories to Kaka Kids and just make everything seem larger than life than it actually is. I believe that one. That's actually really adorable. Like, I want that. Now I want that to be canon, and I know it's not going to be canon. What I gotta do? Write my own goddamn fanfiction of BlazBlue now? Is that what I gotta do? Is that what I gotta do to get all these cool ideas? To write my own goddamn fanfiction? This is some bullshit, man. Why do I gotta put in the work? Nah, but in all seriousness, I like this one. This is a really cute idea. I don't know about the whorehouse, but I like the ideas of like Tao and Ragnar going drag racing, or them starting becoming pro wrestling champions. That's a cute idea. I just have like something as simple as them like trekking a big mountain or something like that. You know, like them trekking a big mountain, and Tao seems like the more reliable one. Like I can see Tao telling stories where like if they were real, right? But Ragnar's the one having to like help Tao with a bunch of shit. But then she'll spin the story in her favor, where like she'll make Ragnar seem incompetent while she's the competent one. I could definitely see that one. Churro is back with another headcanon. Should Ragnar become Rachel's servant, he would do lots of dishes and learn to make desserts. Then Rachel will give an average or below compliment to the food, even though she secretly likes them. Yeah, I've always saw the Ragnar being Rachel's servant angle. Like they kind of, in a way, they already kind of set themselves up for it, how they act in the story mode. So like I could kind of see Ragnar being like Rachel's servant for about like, let's say like a bet. Like Ragnar would do something like, okay, Rachel, I'll bet you I could do this, and if not, I'll be your servant for like a week or a month or whatever. And Rachel's all like, you know, fine, you know, I'll hold you up to that bet. She would definitely do so. Rachel's not above taking bets. She did that same shit in Chrono Phantasma, where like she had a bet where it's like a bet she bet on Bullet. Was it Bullet she bet on? Yeah, she bet on Bullet. And like I could definitely buy that. I could definitely buy that. Like she'll like Ragnar will lose the bet, and he'll have to like be her servant for like a week or a month. And then like she'll taste the food, and it's like really good to her. But then knowing how Rachel acts, she'll just either give him an average compliment or just kind of insult him. But you know, in the back of her head, she's always like, "Damn, this is good." Yeah, that one I could buy. I could buy this one. I actually like this one because it really does make sense. Like Rachel would do such a thing, and it's what could be possible. So yeah, thank you, Cheryl. That's such a really cool one. Sinful Rider, aka Epic Link Sam, tells me BlazBlue and Guilty Gear take place in the same world, just several hundred thousands of years apart. See, like, I get this idea where a lot of people actually do believe that BlazBlue and Guilty Gear's worlds could be connected through the backyard and the boundary. Like, the backyard could essentially be the boundary, but in their terms. Like, I could definitely believe that. Like, what Guilty Gear people believe could be the boundary is actually the backyard, or what BlazBlue characters believe is the boundary could be the backyard. Like the boundary and the backyard are essentially the same thing. They're just interpreted differently between the two worlds, and like they're actually just a gateway between each other. Considering how BlazBlue set itself up for like a bunch of possibilities and you know world just crossing worlds and all that shit, I could definitely buy that BlazBlue and Guilty Gear could be canon to each other. And I could definitely buy that. I don't know why. There's something about it. Like, yeah, obviously I know BlazBlue was created because ARCSYS didn't have Guilty Gear at the time, and they had to create something kind of like that to try and cash in on it. But guessing that BlazBlue and Guilty Gear could be connected in some fashion, you know, via like, you know, some dimensional portal that will lead them from one world to another, I could definitely buy that one. I could definitely buy that one. Okay, so now I'm out of Twitter comments, so now I have to go to my YouTube comments that was, you know, given about the thing I put in my community tab. So anyway, Natalie Costanza, I am sorry if I pronounced your last name wrong. Although arcade mode isn't canon and is probably just comprised of multiple possibilities for the characters, I like to think that Hibiki's actions and apparent desire to kill Kagura are reflective of a hidden side in canon/stories mode, since so little of him is seen, and when he does appear, he does seem oddly normal for a BlazBlue character. Perhaps his mask slowly breaks over time, and because Noelle becomes a nun and no longer needs Bolverk to suppress her emotions at the end of CF, she gives them to Hibiki to help him stabilize his own feelings. Okay, first of all, Bolverk, Hibiki, cool idea. Second of all, I like this one. I really do. Because, like, you know, we only get, you know, Hibiki's quote-unquote crazy side during the arcade mode. And obviously, Mori did say that that moment isn't treated as canon in the... in like one of the material official statement material collections. Mori did outright say, yeah, this moment isn't canon. This whole Hibiki stuff isn't canon. But considering they wasted, like I want to say wasted, considering they spent so much time in the arcade mode to set up Hibiki to do something against Kagura, I want to believe it is canon in some way. So like, you know, like her, like, I don't know how to describe this, but I like this idea. You know, like he's keeping up this ideal of like, you know, just being Kagura's faithful servant, but over time he just can't help it anymore, and just starts to crack under the pressure. And then like Noelle comes in, knowing that, you know, he has struggled with his own feelings, gives him the Bolverk. I like that idea. I really do. Bolverk Hibiki just sounds like such a weird idea, But it would make sense. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you know, him suppressing his emotions and try to do that way kind of makes sense. But like, damn, Hibiki has guns now. Gunner Hibiki, holy shit, dude, that'd be sick though. I'm not gonna lie, Gunner Hibiki. William Maya tells me, my headcanon is that Rachel has a Ragna body pillow and likes to cuddle it with it every night. That's it. Again, everybody just really loves hammering the Rachel being obsessed with Ragna thing. People just love that. I get it. I get why. But like everyone just like loves that. Like they want to like Rachel believe that she's secretly obsessed with Ragna. And in some twisted way, I could buy it. But at the same time, like, man, everybody just loves this one, don't they? Everyone just loves that one. Oh my god. Alex Ferguson tells me, one of my headcanons is that Ragna is the new user of the Master Unit, and he looks over the people he cares about as a god. Another is something I had an idea for the next installment, where Noelle as a nun finds a young boy who's left behind after his home is destroyed, and adopted him as her son. And that boy becomes a young man who becomes a new protagonist. My last one is that any big name characters from the previous games, like 9, are reincarnated in the world after Ragna took over the Master Unit. Okay, so as for the Ragna being in the Master Unit, I could just buy that one. You know, Ragna's, he's going around, he's just watching everyone. I could definitely just see that one. Like, they left it up in the air what Ragna is up to at the moment. We all know that he got near the Master Unit, he's possibly inside it, and he erased himself from, you know, from existence. So like I could buy that Ragna's in the Master Unit watching over everyone. It's like, yeah, you know what? You know, everyone gets to live their lives. They can, you know, live in this new possibility that I create for them. You know, like, I like that idea. Like Ragna just being a god watching over people. That's actually kind of cool though. Like it's a huge contrast to him being the Grim Reaper to kill and take away lives, to him watching over the new life and the people who are enjoying their lives now. Now, as for the whole thing about Nun and like, see, the funny thing about the whole Nun thing, like of this young boy being like the new character, that'd be kind of cool seeing how Ragna got his home destroyed and he became, the, you know, obviously he went on his path to become a new character. Like, it would be messed up if this new boy, is this kid, right, got adopted by Noelle, then like their home burns down. This young boy loses Noelle, and then he'll just go on his own rampage adventure and shit like that. He'll become the new Grim Reaper, so to speak. And that's actually a messed up way to kind of invoke the way of the Wheel of Fate is turning. Like, doesn't matter what possibility there is, this will continue again and again. It's kind of messed up, but that would be really cool though. And the last one is any big name characters reincarnate. See, I can imagine, like, some weird way, I can imagine, like, you know, if Ragna creates this new possibility that everyone who died, like, so far, and, like, they'll come back to life and be able to live their lives freely. I wouldn't like that, because I'll kind of shit on their deaths and how they, you know, they kind of shit on their deaths. But at the same time, I would kind of like to see that, because that would be really nice to see, like, everyone gets a second chance of life because of what Ragna did for them. And I would like that idea, but at the same time, I won't. But that's an interesting way of looking at things. Alright, man, I apologize because there is no way I'm going to be able to say this name. I am not fluent in words all that well anyway, so I apologize. But anyway, my headcanon is that Kokonoe has a gaming rig somewhere in Sector 7, and she does gaming sessions when she's bored. Oh yeah, that's definitely canon. That has to be canon. There's no freaking way I could believe that one. Like Kokonoe, like we already know that she games a little bit. We already know that. You know, she brings out like freaking handheld console when she brings the handheld console sometimes during her intros in the BlazBlue games. So I could definitely buy that she, like when she's like on her downtime, she's like, you know what, I'm just gonna go off, I'm gonna go stream or some shit. Like imagine streamer Kokonoe. I tells me, mine is that Ragna considers Tao as his best friend. I like that, that's cute. I like to believe that like, after, you know, dealing with the, like, after hanging around with Tao, you know, her craziness kind of rubs off on Ragna. And like, he really genuinely does care for her as like his best friend. Because like, knowing how Ragna dealt with her at first, and like, he's like, he didn't want anything to do with her, and he's kind of a nuisance. But like, over time, you see Ragna start to like, you know, deal with her and tolerate her more. And I even like that scene in the arcade mode where he comes, in Central Fiction's arcade mode, where he teams up with Tao. And I like that. I like to believe that Ragna considers Tao as like his closest friend. And like, he could tell anything to Tao. Like, knowing Tao's dumb and she won't understand what he's going through and shit like that. But I like that. I kind of like that idea. And knowing, we already know that Tao really does care for Ragna. We know that because of her arcade mode about how, you know, if she were to have a possibility of just like, you know, being able to live peacefully and happily, Ragna was there. Like Tao considers Ragna and Lychee to be her closest like friends in regards of humans, you know, other than Kakakins. So like knowing that Ragna was in her dream, we know that Tao really does care for Ragna, and I believe that Ragna does care for Tao all the same as well. I don't think I'm going to pronounce this one right, but Mercurial Spider 8976 or Mercurial. I want to say Mercurial Spider. Apologize if I got your name wrong. But anyway, he tells me Ragna requires an excessive intake to get even slightly inebriated. He could outdrink the entire cast by himself, but doesn't, since even that much doesn't do anything for him. Hakumen and Susanoo's entire antiquated manner of speech is fake to sound cool. Jin doesn't do it when he's at it in the end of CF. And Susanoo lapses slightly back to his spirit form's penchant for vulgarity in some of his moves when fighting. Also, X-Blaze Lost Memories is no longer canon given how completely ignored it is. And S will only be portrayed how she was in CF because she's more marketable that way. Okay, so as for the Ragna one, you know what? Knowing that Ragna doesn't drink, I can believe any drunk theories that, you know, any drinking theories that come with Ragna. I kind of believe it. Like, knowing that Ragna, like, he could, like, hold himself against everyone in regards to drinking, I could kind of buy that. I mean, I don't have any evidence to prove that, but I could kind of see Ragna being the kind of person who's just doesn't get drunk all that easily. I kind of could see that. Now, as for the Hakumen and Susanoo speech, like, as for Susanoo, I could definitely believe he genuinely believes all the shit he does. Like, he's not faking the speech. He genuinely, like, in the case of Hakumen, yeah, I can definitely believe Hakumen and Jin would do such a thing. Like Hakumen, because, like, he's trying to make himself seem bigger than he is, even though he's still that cool anyway. But as for Susanoo, no, I definitely believe that him doing the damn speech is just him believing he has, like, him having his head so far up his ass, he's believing that he's like this godly creature, which he's a god himself anyway. But yeah, I can believe that Susanoo definitely believes that he's this cool. But as for Hakumen, yeah, I can definitely him seeing like him, you know, kind of faking it. And as for X-Blaze Lost Memories, I can't quote on that one. But as for S being portrayed as she was in CF to every other continuity, yeah, I could definitely buy that one. It's sad to see that, you know, S goes through all this stuff in the X-Blaze games just for it to get boiled down to nothing in the actual canon games. So, well, mainline games, my bad. So seeing how, like, the X-Blaze games done S and how Central Fiction does S and how they're going to use that for her, like, you know, it sucks, but knowing... I kind of buy it though. Like it sucks, but what can you do? You know, poor S, really poor S. God damn it. Soul Hero Freedom tells me my headcanons. 1. In Calamity Trigger, Tiger could explode right next to Hakumen. It's my headcanon that he didn't. Why? Because he's Hakumen. It's like, yeah, Hakumen, like, yeah, Tiger could explode, but he couldn't because Hakumen's right there. Anyway, 2. Hakumen has a Ragna punching bag. 3. Rachel has a big book of insults to use on Ragna. Okay, I like that one. I like the idea of Rachel, like, she has like a book of all the insults she wants to use against characters. And then she'll literally look through them and teleport to the character and insult them based on what she wrote down. I like that one. But anyway, 4. Noelle has killed people with her cooking. Damn, that's dark right there. I can kind of believe that, like, someone died. Like, that's why everybody's so freaked out. Like, that's why they call it death dinners. It doesn't actually, like, it actually has killed someone. Like, no, that's why I believe they call it death dinners. It's not because it's, like, really disgusting and heinous. No, it legit killed someone. As for the Hakumen punching bag, like, nah, like, Hakumen cares about Ragna. It's just like, you know, he's going to kill Ragna for his own, like, he's trying to save Ragna in some twisted way. Like, he's trying to save Ragna from himself. We're to believe. I don't think, like, everyone wants to believe Hakumen really hates Ragna. No, he doesn't. He just wants to save Ragna from himself. Like, that's what, like, that is. But, like, yeah, let's spin that to where Hakumen actually does not like Ragna and just give him a punching bag. I like that idea. Summer's advance. Summer's advance on the goddamn punching bag, dude. Pencil Pete tells me, one of my BlazBlue headcanons would be Lao Ju having a rivalry with Tartar, causing a fight whenever they met. Another one is that Hakumen occasionally goes to karaoke to relieve some stress at times. lastly, the thing that Carl saw was the truth of how the BlazBlue universe truly is. Okay, the first one, that's cute. I like the idea of the Tartars and Lao Ju just fighting each other. I don't know why. No one gives a shit about the Tartars in regards to these headcanons, so I'm glad someone brought the Tartar up. As for Hosma singing, you guys know that Hosma has some very dulcet tones that he could really bust out in a karaoke. I could believe Hosma could sing. Like, when he just gets stressed out, he just, like, bursts out into singing. Also, the Carl one, I believe that one just could be canon. Like you know how Relius, like, he just kind of, like, peeked into the boundary and, like, kind of got effed up, and he just kind of boils everyone down to just being a soul and how he knows everything now? I feel like that's what Carl saw. I feel like that's what Carl saw. Like, he also did the same thing as Relius did. That's why Relius has a mask on, because both his eyes are blue now after peeking inside. So now that Carl... one of his eyes are now covered because how messed up they are. So yeah, that one might as well just be canon. So that's the end of the BlazBlue headcanon video. Honestly, there were more I wanted to get into, but I didn't have enough time. Plus, this video ran on longer than it had to. But if I ever decide to do something again, I would like for you guys to drop me your headcanons in the comments below. You know, because this is fun. But next time I want to do a video about BlazBlue shipping. So if you guys have any headcanons or shippings, please put them in the comments below, because I really want to know. Plus, I have an excuse to make content, and making content is fun.